So Gray Maynard's going to take on Clay Guida at UFC on FX number 4. And that's going to be, I think, June 22nd. So Guida, I saw him fight last time in Anaheim. He fought Ben Henderson. I think that this is going to be a really matchup. I mean, these guys are both bulls. I mean, really tough guys. They're just going to butt heads straight in the middle of the octagon. They're really going to fight because Guida and Maynard are two of the top, and they both have a similar fighting style in terms of their wrestling. I do think that Maynard is more well-rounded than Guida, but Guida really, sets the pace. So Guida is going to be a really tough match for Maynard, and I think it's going to be just as tough as it was when he was fighting against Frankie Edgar. He's not going to really know what to do with Guida. So I saw Guida fight Ben Henderson over in Anaheim, and a match in that fight. But Ben Henderson's now the champ. So Ben is the best. And if you read my predictions and you look up Holy G, you see that I chose Ben Henderson to beat Frankie Edgar. And if they fight again, definitely put your money on Benson. I get that right now. Frankie's going to lose that fight. So, Gray Maynard, he's got 2 knockouts in his entire career. And he's a decision fighter. He's just like Frankie Edgar, but in another sense. So he's not really looking to finish. And I think the same about Clay Guida. Clay Guida is looking for this as well. He likes to set a pace. He could submit you, but he's looking for a decision as well. And I guess or a submission, because I do think that the Carpenter does have a lot better ground game and a lot better submissions than Maynard. So I think this fight's interesting because both guys want to bring it to the floor. More so Guida, but both of them, I think, want to get the takedown and bring it to the floor. And when they get there, and I think the fight's going to get there, I couldn't see this fight being a 3-round. I don't know if it's going to be 3 rounds or 5 rounds, but either way, I couldn't see it being a stand-up war, a 3-round or a 5-round stand-up war. It's going to go to the ground. And Guida's going to have the advantage there, you see. So Gray Maynard, he was up there higher in competition. He was, fighting for the championship, 1 level above. But these guys are both good. And Guida might really be a good underdog pick here, because Guida might be able to pull off a submission on the ground. It might be pretty hard, but Guida might be able to pull it off. So I wonder what the lines are going to be on this fight. Probably something like, I don't know, -200 for Maynard, and I would say positive 160 for Guida. That's what I think the line's going to be. So I like to think about, what I think the line's going to be before it even comes out. This way I will, I'll see if their line is different than the way I view it, and if it's really, much different than I see it. Sometimes I like to make a bet, especially if the, the underdog, if I think the underdog is going to win. Anyway, Maynard, hasn't fought since he fought, obviously, and he was knocked out back in October. So one guy that they both fought is Kenny Florian, and Maynard beat him, and Guida was submitted. So another reason for Maynard to be the favorite. But if you look at matchups here, this is going to be a fight that gets to the ground pretty quickly, and Gray Maynard might not be able to get back up off the ground once he's on the floor. So Guida submitted Gugarty lately, Gomi, kind of Rafael Dos Anjos, and then he, won a decision versus Pettis, and he also put up a real good fight against Ben Henderson. So Guida could hang with anybody. He put up a better fight against Ben Henderson than Frankie Edgar did, in my opinion. And that leads me to believe that he has a good chance to win in Atlantic City. So this fight's going to be in Atlantic City June 22nd. It's going to be the main event of UFC on FX number 4. And that's my prediction. I'm not really saying who's going to win right now. I'm going to look into it a little bit more. But I really do think that Clay Guida does have a good chance when it goes on the ground. What do you guys think? Do you think that Maynard is just going to, run past him? Do you think, I know he's going to be the favorite, so do you think he's going to beat him? And how? Is he going to knock him out? Or is he going to beat him in decision? If he does win, he's definitely going to win via decision, in my opinion. I mean, that's just, I don't know if that's an opinion or that's my thought, but I see him, winning by decision. Okay? So, that's my guess if he wins. But if he loses, how's he going to lose? Is he going to lose by decision? It's possible. Is he going to get submitted? It's possible. Do I see Clay Guida knocking him out? No, I don't. I haven't seen Clay Guida knock anybody out. So, I don't think that he can knock him out. I think he knocked out some guy a long time ago in the first round. Sammy something. I forget his name, if anybody remembers. But I haven't seen him knock anybody out. So I've seen him do a lot of submissions, and I could see that happening. So I just think that Guida has more ways to win. If he can mix it up and Maynard doesn't get the takedown, I don't see what Maynard's going to do. I know he did punch Frankie Edgar pretty nicely, but I don't see him knocking him out. I think his stand-up is pretty bad. Not as bad as Guida's. Guida has a horrible stand-up. So I think Guida's definitely going to look to go to the ground. He's going to look to take down Maynard. Maynard's going to look to go to the ground, take down Guida. And if it's a fast-paced fight, and Guida can turn around and get his back or something, Guida might be able to pull off some of the rounds and do the decision. So, maybe even the submission. So that's my prediction. I just think Guida has more ways to win. I just found out about this tonight, and I'm not going to make a prediction tonight. I think that's a little too quick. But I will be back, later in the week with a more final prediction, or maybe in a month. I mean, I really don't know. But I will make a decision as to who I think you should bet on when I see the betting lines and everything, becomes a little bit more clear. Who knows if this fight's even going to happen, but I think they are making a stand over in Atlantic City, and they're looking to bring some high-profile fighters over there, and this seems like what they're going to do. So another fight that I got to predict next is Rich Franklin versus Kung Lee. It's going to be a middleweight fight, and you know who I'm going to choose for this one. Definitely. I mean, I don't know actually now, but I would say definitely put your money on Rich Franklin. He just hasn't looked so good as of late. And let's see, UFC 148. Excuse me here. Yeah, he hasn't looked as good as of late. It's going to be in Vegas, and Kung Lee sucks. So Rich Franklin should be able to take him out, even if he lost to Forrest Griffin last time. He still should be able to take out Kung Lee. Kung Lee's a punk. Okay, so that's go over to my next video, check it out, and post a comment, because and I know that Rich Franklin's going to bust his ass, and that's just what's going to happen. Kung Lee, he couldn't beat Vanderlei. He's definitely not beating Rich Franklin. All right, so put your money on Rich Franklin, guys. That's an easy way to make some money. Rich Franklin's going to beat him down.